Welcome, everyone, to Advantum Health's India Workplace Culture Roundtable discussion. My name's Trish Thomas, and I lead marketing and communications at Advantum. I'll be moderating our conversation today. A cross-cultural modern workforce like we have at Advantum Health is crucial to strong performance as a company, but it also requires collaboration, understanding, and celebrating our differences. Today, we've assembled a panel representing some of the best and brightest from our workforce in India, and they're here to share an open conversation about how our headquarters in India is fostering a cohesive and high-performing team. Before we dive into our conversation today, I'd like to let our panelists introduce themselves. So can each of you briefly tell us your name, your role at Advantum, and maybe share a little bit about why this topic is important to you? Sujay, do you want to go first?
Yeah,
go, Anupam.
Let's go, Sujay, yeah.
Oh, you're muted, Sujay.
Mute. I'm really sorry. Yeah. So hi all, good morning everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. So my name is Sujay Kumar, and I have around 19 years of experience in RCM industry, and I worked in like majority of the larger companies in India. And in Advantum, I work as an AVP in operations, and my day-to-day activities is to take care of the cluster clients and some bigger clients in cluster as well. So that's my quick introduction. Thank you.
Excellent.
That's great.
Anupam, you're up.
All right, thank you for this opportunity. So my name is Anupam, full name Anupam Tripathi. So almost like 16 years of work experience in revenue cycle management healthcare. So in these 16 years of experience, I have served with the multiple roles, with the multiple responsibility. Before being AVP in enterprise accounts, I led the product and automation departments within the same company. So almost 8 years journey with Advantum now. So this, and as an AVP, my major responsibility is to take care of the enterprise clients and ensure the revenue cash flow, clients are happy, employees are happy. So across happiness, that's the focus.
Excellent. Love it.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Yeah. So, hi all, good morning. I'm Anuradha here. My full name is Anuradha Dosapati. I'm working here as Vice President HR. I majorly look after HR front of India at Advantum Health India office. I have close to 17 years experience as an HR, and whereas I have experience right from talent acquisition to exit. I would say right from hire to exit of an employee. So this is in crisp about this. This is in crisp about me, and I'm really very happy to be a part of this discussion. And I would know like different kinds of opinions I would get to hear from all of you. This is awesome.
Great. I agree. You're in the perfect role for this this discussion.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. My name is Mamta Rao. And overall, I carry almost 20 years experience in the US healthcare domain, started right from, medical transcription and CPC certified coder. And, in all the domains, training has always been my passion. And that is when, I entered the field of training. It's been more than 15 years. I've trained multiple candidates in different roles. And I'm working with Advantum for the past 3 years. And training not only the new hires, training the employees. So all this time, I was the only person, but now I have a good team who is going to be training people on multiple domains. So that's a little bit about me.
Good to have a great team. And I love, we've got such a good group of panelists on this call. You guys are from different parts of the company, working in kind of different areas. Some of you have been with Advantum for many, many years. Some are pretty new. So it's a great representative group of our India workforce. So I wanted to start just talking about India is such an incredibly large and diverse country, right? There's so many cultures, experiences, languages, communities. At Advantum, we have team members from all across the country with very different backgrounds and work styles. I'd love to hear from each of you an example of how a fundamental workplace difference on your team has maybe made teamwork challenging or has made it especially rewarding and impactful? I don't know who maybe has a good case study to start off with, but talk about the diversity of your India teams.
Okay, so maybe I can talk about, we get candidates, new hires from different states. We have candidates from different cultural backgrounds. And participation, is a major challenge because, there are few of them who are very assertive, who are, who can talk very easily. But there are a few who are very shy and they need some time to mingle with the others. So initially there are going to be some, for all of them to get used. That is a challenge, but in the long run, that is a really good advantage because they get to meet each other, they get to know their differences, they have a good support from the team, and I think participation in a team is a biggest cultural difference that we have.
Correct.
Great. So true.
That's right.
All right. I think I will add what Mamta said. So as is like cultural and then style differences overall, right? So of course, the people who come from the different state of the India, the major challenge may be the communication, Mamta, the major,
Of course.
I think, right? So
Yes.
because Indian, culture is one of the world's oldest and most diverse, rooted in thousands of years in the history, right? So
True.
communication point of view, almost like I think more than thousands of languages are spoken in India, I believe. So that's the one. Of course, the challenge is because though we adapted English as our business language, along with Hindi being as a national, but again, like regional language is always gives the difference, right? So
True.
coming to the Hyderabad, that was if I talk about. So in Hyderabad, the regional language is Telugu, right? Though people speak in English, but when it comes to mingling together, talking together, they speak in their regional language.
Regional, yes.
And then again, if somebody is coming from north side of India like me, I don't understand Telugu. So for me, the English is my business language that I can use my day-to-day life here, right? So
True,
that's
true.
the one. And of course, when it comes to the diversity, one of the things that I felt is, along with the style also, because in the North India, people are different in traditional, clothing or dressing style. When it comes to South India, their dressing is completely different than North.
Different, yes.
Right. But
Yeah.
again, coming to the overall impact point of view, I have also identified, or you can say observed, people are more in coming with the problem solving, concept with. They are more in the creative problem solving method. Basically, they talk about, okay, they come with a problem, they talk about it, and they say, okay, this is the area I stuck, how to handle it. And then they gave the suggestions too, like, okay, this is how we can do it, this is how we can do it. So based on those suggestions, we can filter out which can work best for them. And then again,
Correct.
in my team, usually I talk about, I have people from the different state of India who are comfortable with the regional language, and many are not comfortable, means they're not aware of that language. So the major part is the communication, that day-to-day basis I speak and then try to add in their value so that all the business point of view, they can feel comfortable and deliver what we expect.
Absolutely.
So
that's a really good
True.
point. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really good
Exactly.
point too about the diversity of culture and language can actually
Yes.
lead to diversity of thought and help with problem solving and things like that, just looking at things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Sujay, did you want to share something?
Yes, Trish. So when it comes to diversity and different part of India, like they have different culture and the way of the approach towards the work will be different. And for example, if I'm giving a feedback to someone, like there are 4 or 5 people in my office, and each person is from different places in India. So some people might take it negatively because they don't like taking feedback. So and this in the same meeting, the other person will say like, yes, I will take this positively. This is the feedback which I needed. So this is the challenge which we face on day-to-day basis, especially myself and Anupam when we are dealing in operations. when we get a lot of feedback from our customers and from our VPs in US. So what we do, like we have to manage that, make sure like no one is unhappy. Okay,
Yeah.
Right.
that's the approach that we take always.
Yeah.
And
Well, and that's
that comes with experience, and it's not so easy to
It's
convince everyone
it's
and
not.
make sure to reach the goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Well, and
point
that's
which
a
I
good
wanted to add to
point.
Anupam's point.
And that's a really good point too, that you kind of have to bring all of these, the different cultures and experiences and things like that, work styles that people bring into the workplace, and kind of create a whole new Advantum workplace
Yeah.
norm that people understand how to, communicate with each other, give and receive feedback in a healthy way, and work together collaboratively. And that's kind of a process that you get people accustomed to, and you it takes some time and some hard
Yeah.
work. I knew from the
That
HR perspective, was there anything you wanted to add?
sure, Trish, definitely. From like adding to all of their points, even I would like to focus on one more thing is like, we build trust and collaboration by sharing our personal stories, various traditions where we are coming from. So that's how we can really bond each other. Like that's how we can create that bond. When we share, when we have this festival environment, like team building activities, that's how people come together and they forget about like from where they are coming and which place, which language. This start sharing their personal stories, and this really helps us to bond us together. And we understand, okay, which like if a employee like believes in assertive style or passive style, and see our leaders are there like wherein they get all of them in a like same way, I mean to say same path, and they make them understand, okay, this is the feedback, and feedback should be seen as a feedback, nothing else. We should not attach any stories to it. It is just a feedback, that's all.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
that really is something that I think even in the US you struggle with sometimes. How can you deliver feedback that helps someone perform better, but do it in a way that they can receive it in a positive way and actually utilize it to become better rather than feeling, dispirited or hurt or anything like that. So, yeah, I really appreciate that that's something that you're focused on the team in India. Let's kind of shift topics. I wanted to talk not just about the diversity of cultures and languages in India, but at Advantum, we have large teams both in the US and in India. So our American team is largely based in Kentucky, but we have remote employees all around the country. In India, our headquarters is in Hyderabad, and most team members work in the office every day. So we have different time zones. That's always a big one. But what else have you noticed about the differences maybe in our US and India workforces? I'd love to just talk about what you've observed as different or similar when you're working with team members across India and the US.
I would like to throw some light over here. Like one of the advantage which we have is work environment, lively work environment. When we work in person, because all employees are sitting over here and working here, when they are right in front of us, we can brainstorm together, solve the problems together, and that becomes quite spontaneous. But on the other hand, I must appreciate our US team, like who are working, though they are working remotely, but still the like we are making best use of the technology, and even we do not see that difference over there. So in fact, like we have more advantage than at our US front by working from office all in single place.
See, what you said,
Yeah.
Anuradha, like overall, if you talk about, so one of the major things that I have noticed is, which is there in our DNA, I believe, that is adaptability, focused on learning, and flexibility. These
Correct.
three things that I have seen, we are adapting all kind of situations frequently, able to manage things. We are flexible to achieve the goals that comes either from the business point of view or any specific customer point of view. We don't wait for the specific request coming from the higher level. We start initiating that. We start working on that, though we understand there is a difference in the time zone because US work in EST and we work in IST. But again, as I said, Indian are flexible and adaptable. So we adapted, right? We are working in our IST zone and delivering the work for EST. So of course, and then as Sanurada said, right, US team working remotely is still the collaborations that we have, right? Knowledge sharing that we have, and the both team working together to achieve the objective of the business. I think that's what keeping us together and making the better workforce.
That's right.
Excellent.
Yeah. And of
It
course,
is
we have
because of the shared
similarity as
vision
well.
we have. Exactly,
Mhm.
shared
Yes.
goals. At the
Yeah.
end, we should be committed to delivering the best possible experience to our clients, the quality within within the turnaround time. That's what drives our whether it is India team or US team.
Yeah.
I
As
couldn't
long
agree more. I
as
see
we
the
have
same thing. That alignment of purpose and
correct.
that
Yeah.
commitment to the client is a constant.
True.
That's
Correct.
right.
Yeah. And I would also like to add a point, when you compare the Indian workforce or the US workforce, I think hierarchy is a major, difference. When you talk about the US workforce, the hierarchy, it's more open, the conversation is more open and everyone's opinions are taken. But I mean, not at Advantum. When you compare to some other organizations, here hierarchy just goes from the top level to the down level. People here have to just follow whatever the leader says. But the best thing at Advantum is since both, the US teams and Indian teams are working together, there is, there is a flow of, the opinions and each one's opinions is taken into consideration before any decision is being made. So the entire team is also, they are actually very uh, they become very motivated, like okay, even our voices are heard, and even we are taken into account before a major decision is taken or a major change is made. So I think that is the best thing that we see at Advantum.
Yeah, that's
That's
Yeah.
really good
right.
to hear because I know that's something that's really important to leadership and it is kind of a distinct cultural difference, I think, in just normally how workplaces flow between the US and India. But I'm glad to hear that Advantum's doing a good job of soliciting that input from the team in India before decisions are made and implemented. That's really important.
Yeah.
Anything else on that topic before we shift? All right.
We covered.
Well, since I work in marketing, I see a lot of the photos, the videos, the social media posts from our India team, and it looks like you guys have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of holidays in India. I know that our team in the office has lots of birthday celebrations and parties. I'd love you to just share what you like most about the culture in Advantum's India office, maybe a few of your favorite holidays, customs, or activities that you get to celebrate.
I would like to add to Trish. So it's not a lot of holidays. It's only 10 holidays per year. Yeah.
The 10 chosen
It
ones,
is
right,
such
Sujay?
that
Yeah.
we celebrate
So
each
in
and every
And
festival,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
I think you
from
get to
New Year
stretch them
to
out for a few
Christmas.
days.
yeah.
We
So
celebrate all
what
the
we do
festivals.
Yeah.
after what we do with the collaboration of HR team is like we celebrate those festivals in office. Okay, majority of the things like that brings in team bonding and every religion people will mingle. It's not about any religion in the organization. Okay, we value every religion in the team, meaning in the company. So whatever space they need, that will be given. Okay, and apart from that, these fun activities are to come out of your stress. Okay, all 5 days continuously they'll be working. They will be needing some fun activity, which our HR team is doing a wonderful job there. Okay,
Of course, in
so
collaboration with Offstream again.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah. It's all teamwork. Individually, we can't do anything. We all have to collaborate, and that's what we are doing, and that's working out very well. And I get calls from other companies, VPs, and the higher level people like you, like they say, like your company is happening company now.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
That's great.
yeah, yeah. I just wanted to add this point, Trish. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sujay. That is correct. Adding to Sujay's point, like, because we have team members from various parts of India So we just don't want to disappoint anyone. So we try to inculcate or celebrate almost all the Indian festivals. We have tons of festivals. So right from New Year to Christmas, 25th December, like we celebrate almost all the festivals, whether it is Diwali, Christmas, Ramzan, any festival for that matter. But that's how people come together. They celebrate with the dance, music, or but like whenever they kick off this Friday with the fun, they'll have some memories to carry forward to their home. Again, they'll recharge with their family and again come back. So after all, we all are their extended family. In fact, I would say more than my family, I'm spending majority of time over here itself.
Yeah.
Maybe I just go home, have some, and take rest and come back again to office. So
Yeah.
obviously, all the employees over here are a family again.
Yeah. No, I
Correct.
love to see it. I really sense that even from a distance in the US. I feel it from the videos,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, just the collegiality, the photos. I can tell that it's a really, really important piece of, like you said, bonding and also helping people work really effectively together. Because I think we work best with people we know personally, we have a bond with, and we
Correct.
understand. So yeah, it's really, really important. Um,
Yes, Trish. I
you,
think
It should be
oh,
like
go ahead,
adding,
Mamta.
whenever I just want to add one more point.
Yeah.
Sure. So it's like when we celebrate, when we have these kind of things, whether it is Fun Fridays or any celebrations, whenever we come across any employee over here right now, like we see a smile on their face. It's a kind of greeting each other because they are meeting every week. They are meeting every week. They are coming together, having some fun. Though it is for stipulated amount of time, but it will have huge impact.
yeah,
So that's what we
Absolutely.
wanted
Right.
to create.
correct.
Yeah,
So
of
yes,
course, of course. All
so
these
I
fun
think
activities, festival mode that we have, I think of course this is reducing the stress and giving the positive vibes on the floor. Of course, that is
That's right.
appreciated.
yeah. So yes, adding to what Anuradha said, since we are dealing with a batch of interns, just graduates, this is something which they find very interesting, because of the fun activity. We see that there is no attrition. Okay, they come very regular to the office, and there's a bond that has been developed. So I think we are all following the Indian culture, that unity in diversity. Even though we are
Correct.
from different backgrounds,
Correct.
we are all just working together as one team. So that's
Absolutely.
that's really good to see.
That's
It
right.
is. I couldn't agree more. That leads really nicely into the next topic I want to touch on. Our team in India is very driven and hardworking. Some of you touched on that in your comments, and the social expectations around work in India are pretty high pressure. I'm sure it can be difficult to make time for family and excel in your career simultaneously. We also have a lot of women in our India office who have children to care for, responsibilities at home to manage. So, work-life balance might be the wrong term because I don't know if any of us ever really achieve that. But I'd like to talk about ways we can support our team in having a successful career and a happy life. What are some of the things you see Advantum doing to help manage this work-life balance in India? And maybe how are each of you personally navigating some of the challenges in your career and your home life? I'd love to just hear your ideas and thoughts.
I think this work-life balance more question comes to the operations because this is where we deal day-to-day basis, right? Because we have to deliver the work, so that's where possibly the question says. So of course, when it comes to Advantum, we have flexibility that we have given to the team members when it comes to the need of their family. Because as we said, like India has a lot of festivals, a lot of celebrations they have. So sometimes in their family also marriage is there, their personal commitment with the family is there. So we are flexible, we provide them leaves, and in case we feel there is a need of business as well in between. So exceptionally, we provide work from home as well based on the need of business. And overall, our main focus is you have to be stressful. You have to be able to manage both work versus office, because end of the day, both are your responsibility. for both you are accountable for. So personal and professional, both you have to be balanced and you have to fulfill at the same time.
That's
Exactly.
right.
So,
Yes.
so that's right.
And adding to Anupam's points, it's not that like and we are just I just want to say that like we are blessed to have leaders who has EQ. When I say EQ, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence, like this is also one of our value, like wherein we have to think empathetically and again draw a
Yes.
thin line where like where should we give and where should we not give the leaves, or flexibility in environment. It can be leaves, or even when they have this personal touch with employees, that is the personal rapport, employees would come forward and share like this is the problem they have, and they collaborate with leaders and take that forward. So like I think this is working fine. I wouldn't say that we have achieved work life balance, but at least we are on the way to achieve that. At least we are
We
going
are able
forward,
to
we are moving
manage.
forward.
We are.
Able to
Exactly.
manage.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
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 It's the same in the
Adding
US.
to
You know,
Anu,
we work hard too.
adding to Anu, Trish, see, I worked in other companies as well. But when it comes to Advantum, when you log out and when you go home satisfied. Okay, that is for
Exactly.
me, that is first and foremost, that is very important. When I go home, I need to go home satisfied, meaning like we have achieved something, we have done something. Okay, because our leaders don't talk anything apart from work. Okay,
Right.
and also how we are managing our team members is like we don't ask them to work on OTs, we don't ask them to work on weekends, we don't trouble them, we don't call them on the weekends. Weekends is completely theirs. And we just expect like 9 hours of production. In that, like they can take 1 hour of break, and 8 hours is the truly production hours that we expect from an individual. So remaining hours is theirs, like they can manage, improve on something, learn something. There is ample of time, which you won't get in many of the companies.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is important, and it's something that I think is hard for us sometimes in the US, that work kind of spreads into every day of the week and into the evenings. And that ability, even if when you're at work, there's a high productivity bar and there's some stress involved, that ability to kind of turn off and go home and go into a different mode is really important. So that's a really good point, Sujay.
Yeah, and that's the result of we have employees working here 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. For instance, Anupam is here for 8 years. I'm here for 3 years. So it's all like I think like I've landed to a good place where leaders are very knowledgeable and they understand the ground level reality.
That's correct.
That is very
Adding
important.
to
That's
Yeah,
even
yeah.
adding to Suj, I've observed that like our retention rate is quite high compared to even large organizations, larger organizations. While other organizations and industry is struggling to meet, even to get the attrition lesser than 5%. But here we are quite lesser than 4%. So lesser than 4%. In fact, sometimes good number of times. So in that way, we can say that like yes, we are providing a satisfiable environment over here where it is helping our employees to stay like beyond years with us.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
And it's not about such like me working 8 years or you 3 years. we have a good number of people on the floor who have completed more than 5 years working with us.
Yes.
We have a number of
Yeah.
people more than 8 years. You may see people on 9 years as well. I'm 1 year behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But my goal
especially,
is to achieve more. Yeah.
especially talking about, women, working women with the additional responsibility of managing both home and work. I think Advantum is the only company that offers flexibility and, there's no work pressure, there's no pressure that you carry home.
Right.
And that is where we are able to manage both home and office.
That's right.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. No, I was always a working mom, so I understand that from my own life experience. On the topic of kids, India has more than 50% of its population below the age of 25. It's a very, very young workforce. But I know that unemployment is high right now, even for very talented and well-educated young people in India, as much as 12 times higher than unemployment levels for older adults. So I guess I'd love to hear from each of you. What do you appreciate about having a youthful workforce in India? And maybe what can we do to improve employment opportunities and job satisfaction and upward mobility for these younger workers that are coming up in the workforce in India? Any thoughts?
I think when it comes to youthful, so of course, like India brings a unique blend of energy, adaptability, and fresh perspectives, right? So young professionals are often eager to embrace new technology, right?
Yes.
And then when it comes to the employment opportunity, I think the new people that are coming, they are more focused on learning. So upskilling and training program, that's what we can look at it. And then clear, objective that we can give in terms of their career, where they wanted to go for, what they wanted to achieve for, right? In the same objective, if they are learning, of course, they will achieve it. And that's where the India has most youthful and vibrant method in the business nowadays. And everywhere, either with technology or you will see in the business world, most of the Indians you will see on the higher level. They're sitting, right? And again, like encouraging innovation and ownership, that's the again additional things for the people who are coming new. Like it's not like every time you'll be looking experienced people from the market. You always have to give the opportunity to the new people coming to the this world. So our training departments has already initiated that, and that's the fulfilling the youngers need, right? Where people are coming, we're joining freshers, providing them training on the multiple domain. For example, we are going to utilize them in our account receivable departments. We are going to utilize them in our prior authorization department as well. And then we have people coming from the PES department as well. So these three areas that people we are hiring from the market, they are the new people. We are upskilling them, providing them the training. So we are working in the right directions to make people more the business point of view. So I think that's what I feel. And of course, engagement beyond the work, that's what brings the more knowledge.
Right. And I do know we've had really good success with some of the training programs that we've launched in the last year or so. Yeah, what else would somebody like to share?
Since it's related to sorry, Sujay. Okay, since it's related to training, I would love to add that.
I would love it, exactly.
Of course, yeah. See, the younger generation that we are getting in, they are full of enthusiasm. They just want to learn, they want to make a career, but they are confused. They don't know. They have too many options. They just want someone to show them a proper way. So as as Anupam said, a career goal or a roadmap. If you can provide them a roadmap, like, this is, this is a roadmap and this is your destination. They will blindly go ahead and they will follow it. So this, and they're actually giving good competition to the experienced also.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
right.
Yeah.
Apart from that, they get fresh perspective in the organization, and they always have the tendency to question, okay, why this is right and why this is wrong. And so even it helps us to brainstorm together and come up with innovative ideas. So yes, and even they are in like we are investing in them, and they are our future leaders. So, and we are already we already have a school, and we are on the right track.
It's like 1.3 billion people of country.
Yeah.
So
And also this young generation, they understand that US healthcare is the future. Okay. The reason why I say that is this is a recession-free industry.
Correct.
Because hospitals, like there is no day, there is no patients to the hospitals. Unless patients are going to the hospitals, we have business, right? And this our youth is understanding of. Okay. I used to visit colleges in the past experience, and I used to tell them, like, I used to address like 1,500 students in the job fairs, and we used to explain them these things. And for example, today there was a small ad in our social media, and we have hundreds of people waiting in our office for the interviews.
Right.
So
Correct.
that's the thing, and we have a lot of options to choose. And these fresh graduates comes with good communication skills. They already have at least 30-40% of soft skills that is needed for this business. So that's the thing which I wanted to put here.
Correct.
Yeah, that's great to hear that this young workforce has a good foundation and that Advantum's able to put in place this training and upskilling. And I loved what you said, Mamatha, about showing them a career roadmap, that it's like, hey, you're starting here, but look where you could be in 8 years, like Anupam, for instance. But showing them that trajectory.
And also we have shown that in our team members also. Recently, we have promoted around 4 people who were SMEs with us. Okay. We have promoted them to deputies, and they are doing a great job. And we are not hiring any leaders from outside. All are like these into the operations. They are homegrown leaders.
That promotion from within is really valuable too, to the company also, instead of having to recruit from the outside. So that's fantastic to hear. And I know that's really important to young people in India that have big dreams for their career, just like all of us did when we were younger. Well, that's kind of it for the topics we had wanted to go over as a group. Is there anything we haven't talked about that any of you would like to share? Any closing thoughts?
I think we covered most of the major points basically that we're supposed to, because we have festivals. We added in our topics. We added work-life balance. We added upskilling of the youngsters, young people that come from the market. So a lot of things we added, and of course that gives a good objective about our organizations, the way we are looking our business going forward and the company going forward.
Absolutely. No, we covered a lot in a few minutes. So I'll close our roundtable discussion. I want to thank all of you on the panel for participating, for sharing your experiences and ideas so openly. It was really nice to hear from Advantum's team in India directly, and I hope this helps educate some of our employees, some of our prospective employees on what working for Advantum is like. So thank you all for joining me, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you, Trish.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.